Hello, hello. Welcome to my bare bones kitchen. Cheers, and it's Monday Morsels Day. We're going to do something a little bit different. Typically, I'll make a little something that will take us into Wednesday, but you know what? I just decided it's so freaking cold here right now that I needed some soup. So that's what I'm doing tonight. My twist on lots of people's very, very favorite Zuppa Toscana. Now, for me personally, not a huge fan of ground meat in my food, like in my soup. Like other foods, completely different thing. But in my soup, I really don't want like ground meat in there. I think that's kind of nasty. My light is like flickering and being weird here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it's not flickering at all and I'm just losing my shit. That's possible, you know. So anyways, welcome. I'm your culinary coach, Harmony, and I'm going to show you my twist on Zuppa Toscana soup because I love the Zuppa. Let's see if I can talk. I love the Zuppa Toscana. It's good. It's good stuff. So I have my pan going at a medium-high heat. I have chunks of bacon. You know, I'm not going to tell you how much bacon to use. I'm not gonna hold you back. I personally used 6 slices. I typically would use 4 slices. I only used 6 because there was 6 left in the pack, and I wasn't going to be the asshole that left 2 pieces of bacon in the pack, because that's just not right. So we're going to render the fat. So basically you're going to cook it down until it's got some liquid in the bottom. There's no oil in here yet. That's how we're going to roll with this. And I think I may have not grabbed everything I needed. Gotta get that better than bouillon, you know. So I absolutely love this soup. I just happen to do it a little differently. Potato soups are like probably my favorite. Actually, any cream soup is probably my favorite. I can't even lie about that. And pretty much I have like 3 go-to cream soups, and they're all basically the same thing with just like different proteins in them. Just how I work, I guess. Just how I work. So typically if you go to that restaurant and have this soup, you would typically get, like, I think, an Italian sausage in there. I am not a fan of Italian sausage in anything. I don't like Italian sausage very much. And I don't know if it's the spices or what, but not my favorite thing. So what I actually use instead, and it's a family favorite, and I've showed you before, is linguiça. Portuguese sausage, and I will take a picture of this and post it in the link because I know sometimes I show things and it's backwards, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how to flip it the other way. So I will take a picture of that when we are done. You can find that in like usually your meat section, but not every store carries it. So like the meat department, you'll usually find it there, but sometimes you'll find it in the area where they have like brats. That's where I would look. So wherever your grocery store carries brats, that's where I would look first. But sometimes brats are in one spot, and then you got sausages in a completely different spot, and they may be in either spot. Like if you're going kielbasa or something, they may be in 2 completely different spots. I think kielbasa is usually, in my grocery store, is usually kept by like the lunch meat, so I don't know. But that is kept in the actual meat department at the grocery store I go to. Okay, so now we've got some of that fat rendered. I don't know if you can see in there. The fat's kind of drippy in there. And I'm going to add the onions. I did a half of a sweet onion. Use whatever onions you'd like. I am just a fan of sweet onions. I use them for everything. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was worried about getting entries in for the prizes that we're giving away tonight, and I didn't even pull them over here from my adventure with Louie and Lottie. How did you guys like that? It looked like you liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Those guys are a hoot. So I'm going to throw a little salt and pepper and my favorite garlic herb Weber spice. My very favorite. Everybody have a good Halloween? Your kids' teeth fall out yet? Or got belly aches? We just want these onions to get a little bit soft. Like my other favorite smell. Cooking bacon and onions and cooking peppers and onions. Both my favorite. What's in the pot so far? So I have in the pot so far, not very much, Jen. You didn't miss very much. So right now it's just bacons and onions. See if I can talk. See, I'm having this issue again. Can't use my words, guys. Can't use my words. So, Jen, I did 6 strips of bacon this time. Typically, I do 4, but I'm not one to tell you how many strips of bacon you need to use. And then I did half of a sweet onion. And then I added salt and pepper and my favorite Weber garlic spice. And we're just rendering the fat from the bacon and then softening the onions, cooking them until they are soft. Did you have a good Halloween, Jen? I guess I'm blessed because my 14-year-old has never really been into trick-or-treating. I think he's gone about 4 times in his entire life. And one of the last times he just looked at me and said, Mom, why am I going to dress up and go knock on strangers' door and beg them for candy or food? I was like, okay, I'm not going to make you go anymore. Good golly. He's just not into that. All right, those onions are looking soft. So we've been going a little less than 10 minutes, FYI. I do bacon. I am not a fan of the sausage. I just have bacon in here to add flavor. But I also am using, I'll pull it out again, and I'll take a picture of it for you to post. I'll post it when we get done. Linguiça, because I don't do ground meat in my soup. I think that's kind of gross. So I cut these into chunks. They're a little, very slightly spicy, not smoky like a kielbasa per se, but they have just a very light spice to them, and that's what I like. Then I cubed up 6 medium-sized potatoes. Doesn't matter what size you make these guys, as long as they're all about the same size, because then they're going to cook down the same way. So I put them in this pitcher because I had them in water so they don't brown. And so I'm just going to dump those in. And then I'm going to use this Better Than bouillon. I know Nicole is a huge fan of this as well. I only discovered it because of my daughter. I'm filling up my pitcher with water, so sorry guys. Alright. And what we're actually going to do is just basically, we're going to mix our potatoes up with our onions and our bacon. And if you're not a fan of bacon, feel free to leave that out. Like, that's totally cool too. I mostly like it just for that added flavor. Then we're going to use just enough of this to cover your potatoes. Maybe a little bit more. So I did about, looks like maybe a ½ inch over my potatoes. And I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of this Better Than Bouillon because it's just going to give it a little bit more flavor. Okay, I lied. There's not a couple tablespoons left. It looks like there's a teaspoon left, but I'm sure it will be just fine. If it's not, when you taste it, feel free to add some more. This stuff is pretty amazing, though. If you haven't used it, I highly recommend it. It's pretty good stuff. And they have lots of different flavors. There's like, this one is roasted chicken. I have a vegetarian one up in my cupboard, and I think I bought another one of these roasted chicken ones when I was at the grocery store. Kind of one of those things that I just kind of like to have on hand. Because sometimes you don't have chicken stock. And if you have chicken stock, use chicken stock instead. That's great too. Or veggie stock, or whatever kind of stock you're rocking in your cupboard. I am totally unprepared and slacking tonight. I also need some heavy whipping cream. It's because I was worried about your guys' names in the bucket. That's why. I'm going to put this on a fairly high heat. I'm just going to basically get this cream warm because you don't ever want to put cold food into something hot because it's going to bring your temperature down for everything. And then you got to wait even longer for it to all warm up again. And you run a risk of having it go into the danger zone. So you don't want to do that. And I'm going to use half of this, I think. So, pint. 2-ish cups, I don't know. Cup and a half, whatever. Whatever. And if you're smart and you have lots of time to do your cream, you can actually reduce it down to where it's like a thick, really thick. You just want to keep it, once it comes up to a nice temperature where it's starting to kind of bubble, but not quite. You want to turn it down and just reduce it down. You can make it like almost like a syrup. And it makes your soups really good. Really, really good, your cream soups. I love soups because they really are so easy. Does anybody have a favorite soup? Dump it down there. Dump it down there. Let me see what your favorite soup is. We're going to let this do its thing. In the meantime, we're going to give away some prizes. I love how you guys have all been so open to allow me into your homes. Thank you again, Louie, Lottie, Sarah. Thanks, Chad, for coming and visiting with me in my kitchen and cooking together. Like, that has been a blast. I absolutely love that. And you guys just sharing everything is awesome. Awesome possum. So, it's great. It's fun. Here is our giveaway this day. You guys have been submitting stuff for these giveaways for like an entire month. Clam chowder. Love it. That's one of my favorites to make too. That's another one of those cream soups that I make that's pretty much the same that I make for every cream soup. It's just a different protein. Except I don't use a lot of veggie base. I use the clam juice instead. So there's our one giveaway. Limited edition mug. Bare Bones Kitchen mug for Thanksgiving. Sassy Sissy Boutique. Miss Gail has donated these items to us, which is awesome. And we're going to give them away tonight. And we got this awesome apron. Little kind of pastel-y rainbow-esque Bare Bones Kitchen apron. Loving this also. I'm super, super excited to give it away. As you can tell, I'm not an apron wearer. You guys, like, it's the craziest thing because people you know, people are like, oh, you cook, so you must need an apron. And I have like several aprons now. And I just honestly, I always forget about them. I always forget about them. All the time. Even when I have them in front of me, I'm like, oh, I don't need that. It's crazy. I don't know what the deal is. So, Melinda, are you a white clam chowder or are you a red clam chowder? Are you New England or is it Maine? Good Lord, I don't even know my clam chowders. How sad is that? It's just not coming to me, that's all. Manhattan, that's what it is, not Maine. Crazy girl. Crazy girl. All right, we're starting to simmer over here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I have my kale. I know I've gotten some messages about kale. Jen, you use a tomato base in a Manhattan clam chowder versus cream in New England clam chowder. I'm going to be honest with you, I've never actually had Manhattan clam chowder because it weirds me out. There's only a handful of things I won't do, okay? I mean, I would try it, but I kind of have a feeling that I'm already, like, put it in my mind that I'm not going to like it, so that's just how I am. Alright, do I have... Oh, my little whisk must be in the dishwasher. That's all right, we'll use this one. I always like to have a whisk for my cream, because then you can kind of get the airflow down off of it, and you just gotta watch it, guys. Once it starts coming up to temperature, it will boil over like that. So you just gotta keep an eye on it and make sure that you're kind of whisking it down a little bit to get that pressure out of it. And if it does start to bubble up, just pick your pan up. Pick your pan up. Alright. Let's see if I can find a cup or a jar or something that I can get my hand into. Maybe I can do that one. Alright, maybe I can do that. I don't know. Maybe I don't want a clear one. That way I don't see any names. Maybe. There we go. How about a bowl? Nice thick colored bowl so I can't even see any names. Alright, so we're gonna go for the mug first. Actually, Chad's here. Maybe I'll make Chad draw the name. Chad? You want to come draw the winner for the mug? So remember the rules for the mug where you just had to send me a picture of something that you made, or post a picture and tag Bare Bones Kitchen in it. I got a few entries in for that one. All right, Chad. Brrr. Mug, mug, mug. Nicole! Nicole is the winner of the mug.
Yay, Nicole.
All right. So let me stick that with that.
Doing another one?
Yep. I got 2 gifts to give away, yo.
Oh.
2 gifts. We got the apron also.
Oh,
Well, I have them flipped. I have them flipped. You can't even see the names. I went old school style. It's so much more fun this way. And Miranda! Miranda gets the apron!
Yay, Miranda.
Woohoo! How about let's just throw all of these in one bowl and we'll give away a t-shirt too.
Okay.
So t-shirt's still in the bag. Regular Bare Bones Kitchen t-shirt, guys. So all the entries, anything that either side, we're putting in one bucket, gonna give away a t-shirt. All right. Linda Cole! Woo! You win a t-shirt, a Bare Bones Kitchen t-shirt. That was fun and exciting. I like giving stuff away. It's so much fun. So much fun. Oh, see, now my cream is starting to boil. Just gonna whisk it down. Maybe cut that down a notch. And anytime you're reducing cream down or even warming it up, you just want to make sure you're taking, thank you, Chad. You just want to make sure you're taking your whisk and kind of getting the stuff that's stuck to the sides, because that's like fat. Fat is flavor, right, guys? We all know this. Fat is flavor, flavor. All right, that's looking fantastic. I feel like that's not up enough. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I'm impatient. So I like to make my potatoes kind of a medium-ish large kind of size, because I know that once this gets going and it starts cooking, as the potatoes soften up, the edges are going to start to kind of break off from me stirring it mostly, not because it's boiling. But that way I still have good chunks of potatoes in there when all is said and done. And I also don't like to put my linguiça in too early because I don't want it to get overdone. Otherwise it like just gets a little rubbery, and yeah, I don't want it to be that way. But if you're using Italian sausage instead, I would just totally do the Italian sausage with the bacon, and then you should be good to go if you're going to use the Italian sausage that way. Or the mild sausage, or the spicy, or any sausage, any ground, anything. I would just go ahead and do it all together. That way you don't have to worry about it. So I wonder if Miranda will actually know that she won, because she's been in Facebook jail off and on. Anybody else been in Facebook jail? Totally been in Facebook jail. Just once. I didn't even know why. I don't even remember what I posted, but I got put in Facebook jail. Okay, this is starting to come together. So they're starting to get like little tiny bubbles up at the top, like almost like a foamy situation. And what I personally like to do is just take a ladle and kind of go around the top and just skim off that foamy stuff. Mostly because that's just what my culinary teacher taught me to do. I don't really know what the purpose is, to be honest with you. But I think it's like the undesirable stuff that just doesn't want to blend. And so you can kind of take it out, and it may be from the potatoes. I don't really know. So it just kind of has like this really weird foamy look to it. And if you're doing like a thickened soup, or you're using like a roux, so your oil and flour, or your butter and flour, or like gravies, you can also skim the top. My culinary teacher used to call that granny pantyhose, granny skin, because you know how grandmas back in the day would have them saggy pantyhose. I don't know. He always called it, I don't know. He was weird. He always called it random stuff like that. Go get that granny skin off of there. Now I'm just like, just mix that shit up. Who cares? Just mix it up. See if my potatoes are starting to get a little soft here. So impatient, huh? They've got a little bit of softness to them. So I'm going to go ahead and dump my linguiça in here. They're kind of big chunks, but you cut them however, if you're going to use linguiça, cut them for whatever works for you. Like, I don't have to be the final word, guys. If you need them smaller because that's what you want to do, then do that. If you're not real fond of a big chunk of meat in your soup, cut them in quarters. I used 2 personally for this, 2 whole linguiças, but you can totally just use 1 if you are going to use linguiça, and then just, like I said, cut it in quarters. It'll make smaller bites and be a little closer to your potato size. delicious. Maybe I'll bring my phone over this way and show you. That's what I'll do. Oh, I always love flexibility in my recipes. Just because I'm telling you doesn't mean it's like the end word. I don't know if you can see in there. Maybe if I go this way. So it's kind of, you know, it's just barely over the potatoes still, that liquid. Woo! And I'm always open to suggestions. Like if I do something and you're like, ooh, could I put this in there? Like, I'm not ever going to tell you no. Or I may go, ooh, I don't know that I would do that, but you could try it and see how you like it. Like you could play with your food, guys. Just because it's a recipe doesn't mean it's set in stone. Like we've all seen the little picture that's like, they said put 2 cloves of garlic. Yeah, they're gigantic cloves, right? So I mean, you got to be able to trust in yourself a little bit to be able to deviate from that written word. It's not the Bible, y'all. It's not the Bible. You can deviate from a recipe. It's okay. I promise you. And Gordon Ramsay's not going to come. Hello? Hello? You did not follow the recipe. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it, especially if you think you have everything, and then you get home, and you're like, now it's 5 o'clock, I'm not trying to hit up Safeway now, right? Like, and I'm only missing this one little item. If it's make or break, that might be different. But if it's something that you can substitute, absolutely substitute it. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Or omit it. Sometimes, you know, you put things in a recipe and you can totally omit those things, and that's totally okay. So now the oil from my linguiça is starting to come to the top, which is awesome, and I'm totally cool with it, but it also has that foamy stuff again, so I'm going to get rid of that. I do love linguiça. Does anybody else have linguiça? My 14-year-old, my Zane, he loves linguiça. Loves it. It's like one of the things I actually had to take out. I bought 4 packs at the grocery store this weekend, and I had to take out 2 for this, and I had to take out the other 2 for tomorrow's dinner because he already requested that we eat that for tomorrow. I'm not sad about it, though. I like to do it with the peppers and onions. I think I've done that for you guys before. Peppers and onions and rice. Super simple, super delicious. Total crowd pleaser in my house. I love a good crowd pleaser meal. Even my daughter, who predominantly likes to eat vegetarian, when she's home and I make that, she's like, I'm totally eating that. She doesn't deviate from that, the vegetarian thing often, but there's a handful of things she will eat. Alright, those potatoes are getting real good now. And I always like to add the kale at the very end, because otherwise you're going to get that like olivey green overcooked kale. So that's just my preference. It doesn't really take that long for kale to cook. So once my potatoes are soft enough, I'll cut in the kale. They're just barely soft right now. I will cut in the kale, and then I'll add the cream and then mix it all together. Let it do its thing for about 5 more minutes, and we'll be ready to rock. It's totally it. It's so easy. Soups are easy. I love soups. They're tasty. They make you feel good. And this cold weather is killing my body, guys. Like, every single muscle in my body hurts right now. Every single joint in my body hurts. Maybe not so much now because I did take some ibuprofen earlier, but holy cow, this weather is a doozy on my body. I totally live in the wrong state. I should not be a Washingtonian, but I just can't leave. Can't leave. And you guys caught the Louie and Lottie lunchtime. Did you guys catch up on that one? I haven't posted it on my YouTube channel yet. I actually haven't posted the last 3 videos on my YouTube channel yet because I've not opened my laptop to do so yet. So Facebook took away the download option on my phone, and yeah, so that's why I haven't posted any of the newer videos to my YouTube yet. But please, please go visit my YouTube, because if there's something that I have made in the past, it is not going to be on my Facebook page. Also, I delete my videos after the 30-day mark. So if you are like 125 million% sure that I made something that you want to make, you got to go to my YouTube channel, and I will post that link when we are done, because I just don't leave them. I don't leave them up there. It makes it a little bit less for me to have to keep going back to and looking at, and I'm only one person, so I'm rolling, guys. Sorry. But most everything will stay up here for 30 days. And typically I was really good about posting it here and then turning around and posting it on my YouTube channel, but then they took that option away from me. So there's a few more steps. And the laptop that I have is very slow. It takes like 500 years for it to just load to the main screen. I don't even know why, because it's a brand new laptop and I never use it for anything. So not really sure what's going on there. I just like to scoop up my potatoes, take a little stab at them with your fork, see if they're done, if I can keep them on the spoon. All right. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, now I'm going to turn this down a little bit to like maybe more of a medium setting, because it's boiling away pretty good. Cut my kale in here, and use as much kale as you want. You know, I'll just take scissors. I already rinsed it, so I'll just take scissors and cut it up, because it makes it real easy. Or you can chop it up if you're real particular. I know some of you grow kale, so you probably still have a ton of it. I think it grows all through the winter, which is nice, because it might be the only thing left in your garden in, you know, a few weeks. But it's super delicious, and you can always throw it in a soup. A lot of times when I throw kale into a soup, people will go, "Was that spinach in that soup?" And I'll go, "No, it was kale." "Oh, I didn't even know I liked kale." A lot of people just have a bad taste in their mouth about kale for whatever reason. And I think kale is delicious. I would just saute kale and eat it myself, and I do sometimes. And it brightens up your soup. It makes your soup all pretty. I do not have a new cup yet for December. Louie and Lottie were great, weren't they? I guess their mom said something. Their mom said something about, "That's not anywhere near my recipe. You better keep your name or my name out of your mouth." It was hilarious. They were so much fun. I'll definitely go cook with them again. It was a blast. Such a good time. Okay, guys, just watch out for your twisty tie on your kale if you're buying it from the store. You don't want to put your scissors in that. It's going to dull your scissor and put nicks in there. I'm using the whole thing. Why? Because I can. That's why. For me, kale is like cabbage and stew. Like, you can't have too much. I remember as a kid, my mom would make big, huge pots of stew, and she would put like 2 heads of cabbage in it. It was never enough. I would literally sit there and pick out the cabbage. I loved the cabbage in the stew. It was so good. Ooh, I'm getting a free facial over here, though. Ooh, steamy, steamy. Steamy, steamy. Getting down to those little skinny parts. Try to cut down the stalks so I don't get a lot of the woody stalk part. Alright, I think I've pretty much beat the crap out of this. Pretty much. So make sure that if you have recommendations or suggestions, or you have something that you're not really entirely sure what to do with, you can send me a message at bareboneskitchen12@gmail.com. I am not extremely good about looking at that email. I'm not even going to lie and pretend like I am. You can always send me a Facebook message anytime. I'm usually much more on top of that. My Gmail doesn't have notifications that show up on my phone, so I forget to look at it. You know what I mean? I just forget, because sometimes that's what we do, forget, right? And it's not my everyday email, so I'm not always super uber good about looking at it. All right. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys back over here. Bring you back over here. Because it's so pretty, I have to share before I dump this cream in here. Look how pretty that is. Those leaves are already getting bright green. I think that's gorgeous. I'm just gonna add in the cream, let it cook for about 5-ish more minutes, and then I will put it in a bowl. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you for joining me tonight in my Bare Bones kitchen. I hope that I see you on Wednesday. I have not done a manicotti video. I do love me some manicotti though, girl. I do love me some manicotti. Got you. I got you. All right, guys. I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. I love you. Thank you for sharing always. Thank you for sending me videos, sending me pictures, sending me all of the stuff that you send me, because it's super awesome. I love it that you guys are engaged and want to continue to share and have questions. It's cool. That's why I do this. So I will see you all on Wednesday. Love you.